Welcome to this video on early reading. Reading with your child regularly is the most important thing that you can do to support them in school. It will make a massive difference to their progress, not only reading but also in writing. In order to read a simple phonics book like the ones that we give out in reception, your child needs to be able to say the sounds that the different letters in the words make and then to blend them together to make the word. Your child will also come across words like I, thee, no and to that they cannot blend phonetically and that they just have to learn to read by sight. We call these harder to read and spell words. At Wembley Primary School, we give you flashcards to help you to teach your child the letter sounds and the harder to read and spell words. I've made separate videos on how to use these, and there are links to these videos in the description and also in the memo section of Tapestry. If you spend 2 minutes a day on the letter sounds and 2 minutes a day on the harder to read and spell words, your child will start to learn them. Children usually learn to blend the sounds in words orally before they're able to read simple words. So if I said the sounds k, at, your child may be able to say the word cat. It's an important skill. If your child is not orally blending words yet, don't worry, they just need lots of practice. You can help your child to tune into sounds and words by teaching them nursery rhymes and reading rhyming stories. You can pause sometimes for your child to tell you the rhyme, and you can sound out some words in a story for your child to try to blend the sounds together. Here's an example. Slinky Malinky was blacker than black, a stalking and lurking adventurous cat. He had bright yellow eyes, a warbling wail, and a kink at the end of his very long tail. He was cheeky and cheerful, friendly and fun. He'd chase after leaves and he'd roll in the sun. You can also spend a couple of minutes each day practicing oral blending with your child, playing a robot arms game, where you say the sounds in a simple word and blend them together, then get your child to repeat what you've done. Sometimes you can pause and see if your child can blend the word for you. Concentrate on words with 3 graphemes or letter sounds in to begin with, like sit or leg, but when your child's getting more confident, you can move on to words with 4 or more sounds in. I'll give you an example. Me, then you. It, sit and you.
It, sit.
Well done. Man and you.
Man.
Egg, leg and you.
Egg, leg.
Fog and you.
Fog.
Run. Well done, you do it.
Run.
Boat and you.
Boat.
Slip and you.
Slip.
Bend and you.
Bend.
Well done. Flag and you.
Flag.
Raining and you.
Raining.
Well done. It is very important that you learn to pronounce the letter sounds correctly, otherwise you might confuse your child. We've put links to videos which show you how to pronounce the phase 2 and phase 3 letter sounds correctly in the memo section on Tapestry. Please practice saying these sounds correctly before working with your child. Please try to avoid adding an to the end of each letter, for example k instead of k and m instead of m. The letter I often also causes confusion as it's pronounced differently in different countries. It should be pronounced I in English. We give out phonics books once the children have been taught the sounds s, a, t, p, I and n. Children may not know some or all of the letters in the book. They may not be orally blending the sounds and words yet, and they may not recognise any of the harder to read and spell words. So you might think, well, what's the point? Well, the idea is that by trying to read the book with your support, your child will be practicing learning the letter sounds and the harder to read and spell words, and they will also be practicing blending the sounds in words together. I'm going to show you some clips of me supporting a child to read a story. These are picture books But I'm not going to discuss the pictures and read through the story first and ask the child lots of questions. The emphasis at this stage is on your child practicing their phonics, learning the letter sounds and the harder to read and spell words, and blending the sounds in the words, orally if necessary. I would first go through any letter sounds that the child doesn't know. I've not done this in this video as I've covered learning the letter sounds in the separate video discussed previously. I would also go through any harder to read and spell words that the child doesn't know. I'd then ask them to point to the words, sound them out, and try to blend the words together. If the child doesn't know any letter sounds, I'll tell them. If they can't blend the word, I'll ask them to try sounding it out again. After that, I won't just tell them the word, I'll give them 2 chances to orally blend the word before I tell them the word, and we move on to the next one. So I'd like you to try and read this book for me. Before we read the book, let's go through our harder to read and spell words. This is the word the. Can you say that word for me?
The.
And this letter makes the t sound. It's a capital T and it makes the t sound. Can you say that?
T.
Alex, can you read this story for me? Can you point to each letter and sound out the word and try and blend it together? What's the first sound? S. Point to the next letter. Do you know that sound?
No.
I.
I.
What's the last sound? T. T. Point and sound it out again. S. Next sound. I.
I.
Can you remember that last sound?
No.
What's the word? Sit. 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 Well done. Can you point to the next word and sound it out? Do you remember that sound?
No.
S. Point to the next letter. A.
A.
Mm.
Mm.
Point and sound it out for me. Well done. What's the next letter? A.
A. Mm.
S. A. Mm. S. A. Mm. What's the word? Sam. Well done. Can you turn the page for me? Can you point to the letter and sound out the word? Thank you. I.
I.
Well done. Can you sound it out again for me?
It.
Sit. Sit. What's the word? Sit. Next word. Point and sound it out. Well done. Next sound. Well done. Mm. Can you say it again for me? Can you say the word again for me?
Mm.
What's the word? Sam. Well done. Can you turn the page for me? Oh, look. Here we've got our harder to read and spell word. Do you remember that word? The.
The.
And there's our capital T, which makes the t sound. Okay. Can you read it for me? Point to each sound in the word and try and blend the word together. Mm. Can you point and sound out again? Tam. Well done. Move on to the next word. Say it again.
Fat.
Brilliant. You sounded it out. What's the next word?
O.
Sound it out again. O.
O.
O-n. O-n. What's the word?
On.
Excellent. Do you remember that word? Our harder to read and spell word. The.
The.
And last word. Next sound.
A.
Well done. Sound it out again.
At.
At. At. Mat. The next stage in reading is that your child will recognise more letters and be able to say them. They will start to be able to orally blend words. So if I said cat, they'll be able to say cat, but maybe they're not doing that all of the time. And don't worry about it, they just need more practice. What you need to do is go through any letters that your child doesn't know first using the flashcards that you've been given. I'm not going to do that now, but I would do that with your child, and then make sure that you go over any harder to read and spell words that they don't know. In this case, the child doesn't know these two words, so I will go over these first. So Alex, we're going to have a go at reading this book. First of all, let's go through these harder to read and spell words. This word is. Can you say that?
If.
Well done. And this word is of. Can you say that? Is of. Is of. Join in with me.
Is
of. Is of.
Is of. Is of. Is of.
Well done. What's that word?
Of.
What's that word?
Is.
Brilliant. Can you tell me what that word is?
Is.
And what's that word?
Of.
Well done. What's that word?
Is.
And what's that word?
Of.
Okay, let's go. Point to each letter in the word and then try and blend it together.
Pip.
Excellent. Next word.
Sam.
D. Say it again for me. D.
The.
And. What's the word? And. Next word.
Tan.
Brilliant. Can you turn the page? And can you read it for me?
Pip. Sam.
D.
D.
Say it again.
D.
What's the word? And.
Tan.
Excellent. Turn the page for me. Oh, there's our hard to read and spell word. What's that one?
Is.
And what's that one?
Of.
Can you read the sentence for me, pointing to each word and sounding out each letter in the word and then blending it together?
Tam.
Is.
Is.
O.
O.
Sound it out again.
O.
What's the word?
On.
O.
O.
Sound it out again.
Up.
T. Up. What's the word? T. Up.
Top.
Well done. Of.
O. Of. Sam.
Excellent. Next sentence.
Put it. Pip is
O,
on top
of,
of tam.
excellent. You will move on to books with the phase 3 sounds in like Just check that they recognise those letter sounds first, and also that they know the harder to read and spell words. If they don't know any of them in the book, go through them first. So Alex, I'm going to go through these words. Have, me, you, goes. Have, me, you, goes. Join in with me.
Have, me, you,
goes. Have, me, you, goes.
Have, me, you, goes. Have, me, you, goes.
What's that word?
Me,
What's that word?
goes.
What's that word?
You,
What's that word?
have.
Well done. Can you read this book for me, pointing to the words as you read them?
My turn.
Now, most of these books will have practice words first, so get your child to go through the practice words with the new sound in. Can you read that for me?
Turn. Surf. Burn. Curl. Lurk. Bird.
Brilliant. Can you read it for me? Start with the title.
My turn. Bird is on the up.
Okay, point and sound it out. What's the first part of the word? Point with your finger.
Up.
Blend it together.
Up. Hop.
Okay, what's the next part of the word?
Hopper.
Well done. Keep going.
It is Frank's turn, but bird will
What's that word? Can you sound it out again?
will not get off.
Okay, whose turn is it?
His turn.
And what's his name? Can you read the sentence again? And it tells you in a sentence.
It is
Blend those two sounds together.
Frank's
Keep going.
turn, but bird will not get off.
So whose turn is it?
Frank's turn.
Well done. Keep going.
Can I have a turn? Asked Frank's.
Can you read that word again for me?
Frank.
Well done. Turn the page for me.
Bird not let Frank have a turn. Let me have a turn, says Frank. I will tell Mom.
Who is Frank going to tell?
Mom.
Well done. I'll stop there as hopefully you get the idea. You'll notice that I'm only asking simple retrieval questions about the story, ones which your child can answer by reading the text. I'm not asking the harder inferential questions, ones that you need to get clues from the text or pictures in the story to help you to answer. The phonics scheme that we use wants us to concentrate on the children using their phonics skills to start with and not getting bogged down in answering more complex questions. You can, however, once your child has read the story, ask them to retell the story to you. What happened at the beginning of the story? What happened next? What happened in the middle and at the end of the story? Children find words with 3-letter sounds in 3 graphemes like f, og, fog, sh, ip, ship, and ch, a, n, chain easier to read than words with 4 or 5-letter sounds in with adjacent consonants like the F and the R in frog and the C and the L in clap. So if your child is struggling to read those, you can make it easier for them by getting them to blend the adjacent consonant first. So that get them to point at the first 2 sounds. Can you sound out the first 2 sounds for me? F, r. Can you blend those together? F, r. Fr, on, g, frog. K, l, cool, app, clap. B, r, br, I, ng, bring. Similarly, with words which have got adjacent consonants at the end, like the N and the T in tent, you can get them to sound out the first 3 sounds. You can even cover up the last sound if you need to. So they can sound out n, tent, tent. S-n, send, send. S-n, sand, g-if, gift. And words which have 2 syllables in, you can get your child to sound out by breaking it down. So you could get them to either just point to the first part of the word or cover up the first part of the word for them if that's easier, and get them to go r-a-n, rain, i-ng, ing, raining. Hop, hop, per, hopper. You may find that it takes several months before your child starts to be able to read words. It might take even longer. That's okay. What I can guarantee is that your child is going to learn to read a lot faster if you support them than if you don't. So please make sure that you listen to your child read, preferably every day, but at least 5 times per week. This, and talking with your child, is the most important thing that you can do for your child in reception. So please persevere with it and let your class teacher know if you're having any problems with the reading. Thanks very much for your time.